Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about Luke Kuechly visiting Ashburn to talk with some of the linebackers on the Washington football team and the possibility of him, getting a role, some sort of role with the Washington football team moving forward. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content, and we'll also talk about, how he could help develop some of these linebackers on our team. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so let me read this tweet right here from Nikki Jabala of the Washington Post. So Ron Rivera was a guest speaker at a Joe Gibbs event today, and he said he brought in Luke Kuechly to speak to his linebackers over Memorial Day weekend, and he talked about it a little bit more and said, Rivera said one of the things Kuechly spoke to Washington linebackers about was playing all three spots and being able to do it all backer. Rivera believes first round rookie Jamin Davis can develop into that type of 3-down linebacker, and I'll read some of the other quotes in a little bit, but I really love that Ron Rivera is doing this, bringing in Luke Kuechly, who played under Ron Rivera, obviously, for his whole career, and, was obviously one of the best linebackers in football in, the 2010s, was a great linebacker. Rivera was obviously the head coach when he drafted him, and Marty Herney was the GM that drafted him, and I like bringing him in because we have so many young linebackers on this team in Jamin Davis, Cole Holcomb, Khaleke Hudson, and even more so to bring in a guy like Luke Kuechly, even if it's just one time to talk to these guys, I think could make a big impact, especially someone like Jamin Davis, who's still young, super raw, and could use some of this intel from Luke Kuechly, and maybe, this could develop later on into Luke Kuechly having some sort of role with the Washington football team, not necessarily as a coach, because I don't know if he wants to do that, because that is a huge time commitment for someone to have. Maybe he could be an assistant, linebackers coach, or some other role where he doesn't have to have as much time committed. And even that is a long shot, but I do like that Rivera is bringing him in. And, Luke Kuechly, who, this is from a while ago, this is from early May, but he was working as a pro scout in Carolina, but he resigned a few weeks ago. So not sure what happened there, if he just didn't like it, or he wants to get into something else, or he's just done in general. But that is going to be interesting right there to see if, he wants to, do something else. And that would be amazing if it was in Washington, because I definitely think he could make an impact on this linebacker group. And then, Rivera talked a little bit more, and I'll read this quote right here. When you have a linebacker that can run and play the Buffalo nickel, the big nickel, you really don't feel bad when he gets matched up. For us in Carolina, it was Shaq Thompson. Shaq played safety in college, and then they converted him to linebacker. So when we started looking, we said we need a guy who can run like that and do that, and he becomes our guy. Well, we look at guys like Cole Holcomb and say we could take Cole and we could play him at the will, we could play him at the Sam, or he could be the Buffalo nickel, and you create this positive situation and set of circumstances that you can take advantage of. Position flex is huge, and we already know that Rivera absolutely loves position flex, and I honestly am super high on Khaleke Hudson. I don't necessarily think he can be a starter right away this season, but ideally, if you had Jamin Davis as your Mike linebacker, your middle linebacker, or Cole Holcomb as a Sam, and Khaleke Hudson as the will, that would be really good in my opinion. Here's a quick clip from, I think it was OTAs of, Khaleke Hudson getting a pick, so you guys can go ahead and see that while I'm talking. I like him. I thought he played solid last year, and Khaleke Hudson has some good coverage ability because he was kind of a safety / linebacker in college at Michigan. So we'll see how they use him in Washington this year, and if he has a bigger role, because I do think he will, because our linebacker depth isn't great. Losing KPL, we'll see how Bostic plays this year, but eventually I want to see Khaleke Hudson on the field more We'll see how he progresses in training camp and see how he does in preseason, because if he has a really great preseason, would not be surprised to see him get a significant amount of snaps early on. And again, back to, Luke Kuechly. I love that Rivera is doing this because obviously Luke Kuechly, one of the better linebackers in the NFL for a long time, so he has a lot of knowledge that he can pass down to these guys. These guys are all super young, so they can use it, and I think this is great for him. So another thing that he said, Rivera also spoke about the Buffalo nickel in Jack Del Rio's defense, a bigger DB who can shift down in the box but also drop back in the post. And yes, last year it was played by Cam Curl, especially before Landon Collins got injured. So you guys can read this quote right here. I'll leave it up for a little bit. Rivera says a guy that we're looking at is Khaleke Hudson for that. And yeah, Khaleke Hudson has great, he has a good coverage ability, which is great, but I also think he would be solid at that will linebacker position. Excited, we do have some potential at our linebacking core with Jamin Davis, Cole Holcomb, and Khaleke Hudson, but at the end of the day, a lot of it is just, potential. We haven't seen Jamin Davis play yet. We really haven't seen much of Khaleke Hudson. Cole Holcomb so far has played pretty well. Let's see if he can take it to the next level this year. Cannot wait. I want to hear if you guys even want Luke Kuechly to have some sort of role with the Washington football team moving forward, whether it be a scout, a coach, or just another role that they could fit him in. Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, let me know also any video ideas you guys have also. And I will be streaming tomorrow with On the Warpath, more likely than not, around 6:30 or later. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like the video, and peace.